And from her experience, she decided that business was best suited to grow back at home. Julie Wamboy has more on this week's Women in Business.
This lady in business decided to build her business through exchanging her services for desk space in order to build her business sustainably. Shreya.
Hi.
Hi,
nice
how
to
are
meet you?
Pleasure is all mine.
Welcome to our offices.
Thank you.
Come through.
Thank you. So how are you? Shreya Karia has worked with some of the known brands in the country. A chance she was given from the services she rendered as butter trade.
I was quite fortunate that I was working on the Sankara Nairobi Hotel in its infancy, so pre-launch and just as it launched. And I was fortunate enough to be part of the team that worked on the brand development, the PR, and putting together a lot of the campaigns that won the hotel numerous awards in its first year. My decision to then step away and go and do other things was very unique and interesting for me because, in fact, the first client that I signed as a consultant was the hotel. I think, well, since I started my company, it's been 7 years, and before that, more than 10 years in this industry. I think a lot of people tend to fall into their passions just by chance or by an unexpected encounter or an experience, and those sometimes, in my experience, tend to be the best ways to figure out what you like.
For Shreya Karia, capital was crucial and she was not ready to use it just like that. She considered a number of factors before she could spend a coin to kickstart her business.
You don't need heavy capital to start up, and especially if you're in the service-based industry. You could go and take a loan from a bank or wherever you're sourcing your funding from and put a fancy office together and buy the latest technology. But that in itself does not give you the edge, and it does not guarantee you success. So one of my big things is, and how I started out, was to say, well, I'm not going to put my capital into creating the shiniest new space. Create your own website, for instance, or register a company, have a professional email address and phone number. These are things that don't need a lot of capital, but put a professional face to a startup. And it tells someone, and particularly clients, that, okay, this person's fairly serious. They've got a portfolio together. They've got a website. It tells us what they do. We know how to get in touch with them. And beyond that, I know that if I pick up the phone call and call them at any time of day, they're willing to listen.
With the industry having well-established consultancy brands, taking on the big names was not an easy task.
There are a lot of challenges in the sense that a big one is trying to educate consumers, educate clients, educate the general public about any ideas or concepts or what you're trying to do and how you can help a brand. We are very brand centric, and so we always try to educate and ensure that our clients are along with us at every step of the way so that they understand what we're doing and why we're doing it for them in a meaningful way. The other challenge is obviously trying to go up against the big boys or big established names, as it would be in every industry. But I think if you're a young female and you're starting out in this type of space, it can be a little bit intimidating.
With multiple challenges, Shreya was not about to give up. She has now built a formidable force with 10 actively employed staff.
We have 10 people in our team, and it's great because 10 is a perfect number in terms of bringing wonderful ideas together, bringing engagement together, but also not turning it into a large machine. Sometimes having too many people is just a numbers game, and efficiency and creativity don't necessarily go hand in hand with many people. I feel that our numbers are just right for being able to offer clients variety, a good skill set, but also that personal touch that every time a client calls, they always know who they're going to speak to. At any point, they know who's handling what. And that sort of extension of a company's team, if you will, is really what serves us well.
To those women aspiring to start businesses, Shreya says the first step is to make the decision to start, but one must calculate the risks.
Confidence. If you are not confident in your own ideas, or if you're not confident in yourself, you can be sure that you're not going to be able to convince somebody else to buy into the ideas that you want to bring to the table for their brand or their business. So always believe in the idea you're selling, and always believe in yourself, because nobody's going to believe in you more than you can for yourself. Where I feel I have a skills gap that I can't necessarily fill. And I feel that's a really good model for other people wanting to explore this field and leave an existing business. And I would say, if you are in my line of work, one of the things is that you are always relationship centric. So by and large, hopefully you will have built positive relationships along the way. And the best place to start is your phone book.
The future has a lot in store for SHK Consultancy through the eyes of Shreya.
We are very fortunate that we are working with groundbreaking brands, both locally, internationally, and we're trying to change how people perceive branding and consumer engagement, whether it's regionally, whether it's taking Kenyan faces and putting them to international campaigns, or simply just how we communicate and educate clients and consumers. I think we've come a long way, and I think our journey is just beginning now, with a lot of interesting things to unfold.
Through the brands that she's working with, Shreya Karia is trying to put a stamp in the global space. Julie Wamboi, KTN Business.